Hello again, session number 11. I hope you're all staying fit and well and of course active. It's a little bit chillier this morning, extra layer on, so let's just start to warm up. Starting with a posture check, back of the head, shoulder blades, buttocks and heels up against that imaginary wall. Tailbone pointing down with that zip up and hollow, pulling up and pulling in, the pelvic floor lifting a little bit as well, opening up the hips. Knees rolling out a little bit, arch of the foot lifts, spreading out the toes. And you've got the weight even between the little toe, the big toe and the heels. And don't forget the Pilates, breathing full and wide into the rib cage, and you're not interfering with that. Pull up and pull in. Starting to warm up the joints. Take a breath in, and as you breathe out, floating the arms up to shoulder height, and breathe in to push down. Lifting the arms up just a little bit higher with each out breath. Keeping the torso as stable as you can while you do this. Lift and push down. Gradually making that range of movement bigger. Lifting all the way up and pushing down. Then lifting the arms up, taking the hands behind the head. Keep the elbows right back. And just do a big bend to the side. Elbow to floor, elbow to ceiling. And breathe in to bring it back. Try to keep the chest open, shoulders back and down. Exhale to bend, inhale to bring it back, keeping the weight even between the feet, keeping that chest open all the time. Warming up the middle and getting flexibility into your spine. Holding that there, keep the nose in line with the sternum, the hips pointing forward, and then exhale to twist to the right side. Inhale to bring it back. Exhale, twist to the left side. Inhale to bring it back. Try not to move anything below the waist. Everything below the waist stuck in concrete. Remember those hips are pointing forward, headlamps on the hip bones pointing forward. Feel those middle muscles work, the natural corset muscles around your middle working. Flexibility into the spine. Bring it back to the start position. Bring the arms back down by your side. Bend the knees just a little bit. And then as you exhale, bring the hip bones into the bottom of the rib cage. Pelvic tilting. Exhale to tilt, inhale to release. Maybe put some arms into that. Keep the knees slightly bent while you tilt the pelvis. Bicep curl at the same time to help to encourage that movement. Scoop out the tummy. And relax, take the feet out a little bit wider, knees slightly bent still, but this time roll the hips around, drawing circles with your tailbone on the floor. Circling, circling. Keeping the chest up, the peach underneath the chin. Change direction, make it go the other way. Try and keep the knees slightly bent, which will help to facilitate that circling movement. Encouraging flexibility into your spine and your hips. And then bring it back to your start position. Check again, the shoulders, hips, knees and ankles are aligned. And then slide the right foot back, lift the arms forward and slide under. So just sliding the left foot out, slide under. Keep the chest lifted, try not to lean forward. Working into the hips. And then see if you can slide out and lift and slide under. Slide out and lift and slide under. Try not to lean forward, keeping the chest lifted. Feeling that buttock work as you lift the legs straight back behind. Try not to take it out to the side, going straight back to make that gluteus maximus work. And then just slide back and hold, balance. If that's okay, if not, just leave the toes on the floor. Slide back under. And to the other side, slide out and lift, switch on those core muscles to balance. Of course, you can always leave the toes on the floor if you need to. Bringing the foot back under. Tucking the elbows into the side, palms up. And then slide your right leg out and open the chest. Slide the left leg out, squeeze those shoulder blades together. Work that posture muscle across the upper back. Opening that chest. Outside hips and thighs working. And then if you can, you slide out and lift and add some more balance into this. Squeezing back, still working that outside hip and thigh. Try not to lean the body over to the side. Just engaging that outside hip. Slide out and lift and squeeze the chest open. Then slide out and lift and balance. Hold that there if you can, if not just leave the toes on the floor. Toes come down, slide back under, swapping to the other side and lift. Hold and balance. Squeezing those shoulder blades together. Toes come down, slide back under. And lift that right knee up and just tap with the left hand. And replace the foot. Keep the chest lifted so you're not leaning forward at all. Keep the back of the head up against that imaginary wall. And the shoulder blades and the buttocks. And balance. Zip up and hollow. Flexibility into the hip. Load bearing for the hip. And maybe you can make that a little bit more challenging. This time a little lean forward and tap the calf. So you lift up and you tap the calf. So a little twist on that. If that's too much, of course, you could just lift the knee. Or you can just lift the heel off the floor if it's too much to lift the leg up for the balance. And if you want to, you can maybe take a little bit further and try and get the ankle. Bit of a twist. Nice and smooth. Working into the waist, and of course, challenging, as you can see, a little wobble going on there. You balance. Getting flexibility into the hip. One more time. And relax that there. Back of the head, shoulder blades, still up against that imaginary wall. Floating the arms up. Take the hands behind the head. Do a big bend to the side. Keeping that chest open still. And a bend to the side. Keep the weight even between the feet. Then do with a twist again. And gently back to centre. And twist. And gently back to centre. Now relax the knees. Drop the head. And gently roll down. Leave the hands behind the head until you've gone as far as you can. And then bring the arms and just cross the forearms over. Drop. Hold that there, nodding the head. Shake, 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 shake the head. Then let the arms drop and slowly come up. Link by link, bone by bone, up against that imaginary wall. So exactly the same thing again. Float the arms up, hands behind the head. Do the bend to the right side, lengthen up, bending to the left side. Lengthen up, then the twist, but keep the hips pointing forward, and a big twist to the other side, and keep the hands behind the head, drop the head, relax the knees, keep the hands behind the head, bring the body close in towards the legs, drop, and then bring the arms down and cross the forearms over. Just use the weight of the arms to pull you down, nodding the head. Shaking, shaking. Drop the arms and slowly come up. Link by link, bone by bone, up against that imaginary wall. Holding that there. And now standing at the back of your mat, up against that imaginary wall. Floating the arms up, take the hands behind the head. Keep the chin down over the peach, relax those knees. And then bend back as if you're bending back over a garden fence. Hold it there, stretch through the tummy. And then lengthen back up. Keep those knees relaxed, drop the head. Gently peel yourself off the wall like a piece of wet wallpaper. Roll it down as far as you can, drop the arms. Cross the arms over, nodding the head. And then shaking, shaking the head. Dropping the arms, getting some more stretch through your spine. Keep that tummy button pulled up and in, arms close into the legs, and slowly come up. Link by link, bone by bone. Floating the arms up, hands behind. Relax those knees again, and lean back. Maybe looking forward, trying to tilt the chin back, looking forward into the garden as you lean over the fence. And then lengthening back up, drop the chin,
Slowly, slowly take it down again, just as far as you can. Hold, and then crossing the arms. Let the arms dangle, nod, nod, nod. Shake, shake, shake. Then if you're all right with going onto the hands and knees, bend the knees a little bit more, put the hands onto the mat and walk out onto your hands and knees. If you are not happy on your hands and knees, roll back up to standing and just repeat the bend over the garden fence and the roll down. If you're okay on the hands and knees, make sure you've got the hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Tuck the pelvis under, arch the back, drop the head. Hold that there. And then reverse. Lift the hips and the shoulders, slide your shoulder blades down your back. Hold there briefly and reverse. Pushing up. Keep that tummy button pulled right up and in. And then put in the dip. You can always come up onto your knuckles if you're not comfortable on the palms. Don't forget the peach underneath the chin. So when you lift the shoulders and the hips, you keep your eyes focused pretty much on the floor. No strain on the neck. One more time, big arch, and then a dip. Sliding the shoulder blades down, shoulders down away from the ears, encouraging flexibility into your spine. And then tuck the pelvis under and make a flat back. If you've been standing, coming down onto the hands and knees, but if you're no good on the hands and knees, just roll out onto your front with the arms stretched out in front of you, forehead resting on the floor, or you could always turn your head to the side and let your cheek rest. And then you've got your cup of tea between your shoulder blades, cup of tea on the back of your pelvis, peach underneath the chin. And on the hands and knees, keeping everything stable, just slide that right hand out and lift up, reaching forward, arm by the ear, and gently bring it back down. Exhale to slide out and lift, and inhale to slide back under. A repeat. If you are lying on your front, keep the head down, the legs long, and just do alternate straight arm lifts. Again, while keeping everything else stable. Reaching forward, keeping those cups of tea still. Plank of wood on the back of your head. Then when you've done equal numbers on both sides, keep that pelvis tucked under, make sure there's no dip in your back, otherwise the tea will slide into the dip. Keeping the shoulders down, sliding the right leg out, flex the foot and lift the leg, level with the hip. Toes come down as you breathe in and slide back under. Swapping to the other side, slide out, flex, lift. Toes come down, slide under. If you lie on your front, of course, you just lift and lower alternate legs. Sliding out. If you flex the foot when you lift, push the heel away from you, feel your buttock work a little bit more, and you'll get more flexibility and length in your hamstring and your calf. Then again, when you've done equal numbers on both sides, slide the right arm out, the left leg up, and balance. Flexing the foot, push the heel into the wall behind you, reach into the wall in front, and then toes come down, fingers come down, slide back under, swap to the other side. And then of course you would lift and lower if you're lying on your front, opposite arm and leg. You can decide which position is the most appropriate for you. Reaching forward, make sure those cups of tea stay still. Keeping that peach underneath the chin, the plank of wood on the back of the head. Low bearing, of course, for those wrists, promoting bone growth in the wrists. And getting flexibility into your hip, your knee and your shoulder. And then when you've done about equal numbers again on both sides, see if you can add on to this. I don't think it's going to work on your front, but so just stay with the opposite arm and leg. But if you're on the hands and knees, you could add this one on. You can slide out and lift and hold, bend the knee, and then reach back for the ankle or the heel. Turn the head, look along the arm, bring the arm and the leg back, toes down, slide back under. Keep that tummy button pulled up and in to support your balance. And then you would go to the other side. So you slide out, lift, imprint the sole of the foot onto the ceiling, reach back, turn the head, tap the ankle, reaching forward and back, and gently down, and repeat if you can. So this time it's a lot more about balance as well. So encouraging core strength, looking back. Obviously you've got to keep the knee quite high so that you can get the hand to the ankle. And maybe one more time on the other side, slide out. Lift, bend, reach, stretching forward and gently down. Then of course you would sit back onto the heels. Let the forehead rest down. Just get some stretch through those buttocks. You can have the arms behind you, palms up, and rotate those wrists because you've been load bearing on the wrists. Remember, you can open your knees as well. If you're not comfortable on the knees that way, do the sitting and reach over beach ball for toes and rotate the wrists. Tuck the pelvis under, then you get the stretch in the lower back and the buttocks. And then if you're on your hands and knees, coming into a sitting position, just swing the legs round and then slide the hands out and get a good stretch in those hamstrings. Hold that there, shoulders down. And maybe take a breath in, and as you breathe out, take it a little bit further. Remember, it's completely irrelevant how far forward you go, but try to keep the legs as straight as you can. A good stretch in the hamstrings. And then lengthening back up. And then just sliding the feet in, knees up, feet flat on the floor. Orange width between the knees, peach underneath the chin. Back up nice and straight. Then breathing in, just tilt the pelvis, bring the hip bones into the bottom of the rib cage. And breathing out to lengthen up, nice straight back. Breathing in to tilt, create that C curve, lengthen through the spine, contract the tummy, and then lengthen back up. So you're going to scoop out the tummy, bring the hip bones into the bottom of the rib cage, the ribs sink into the hips, and then lengthen back up, keeping the shoulders down. Then see if you can add on to that. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to roll back. Keep the C curve, so you're rolling back onto the flatter back of the pelvis. Breathing out, you pull back up. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to roll back, extending through the arms, keeping the shoulders down. Hold to breathe in and breathing out, C-shape up and lengthen. So on the pointy bones of the bottom, then you tilt the pelvis and roll back onto the flat back of the pelvis. Hold it on the in-breath and out-breath, you pull back up. See if you can do that without holding on. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to roll back, maybe fingers just over the knees, not going back too far. Hold to breathe in and breathing out, C-shape up and lengthen. And if you do those tummy muscles, kick in a little bit more. Encouraging flexibility into your spine. Nice and smooth. If you find that's uncomfortable in the hip flexors, they're too tight, just stretch the legs out, maybe point the toes, which will help to keep the legs anchored down. And you could do exactly the same thing in that position. Holding it there to breathe in and breathing out, keep the C shape and lengthen up. If you can, hold on behind the thighs, then add a bit of waist whittling onto that. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to roll back. Hold to breathe in, then breathing out, peel that right arm away. Turn the head, look along the arm, keeping the shoulders down. Then bring the hand back and pull back up and lengthen. Nice straight back each time. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to roll it back. Then of course you'll peel the left arm away. Turn the head, look along the arm and breathe in to bring it back and breathing out to pull up. Of course, if you want to, you can do it with the arms out, tilt and roll back, peel the arm away, bring the arm back and pull back up. And again, tilt, roll it back, peel away and reach and pull back up. You can also add a leg in. Breathing in to tilt, hold to breathe in, breathing out, extend arm and leg, and breathing in to slide back and pull back up. If that's too much, of course, you don't need to do that. You can still hold on behind the thighs and just work with the upper body. This, of course, will add a bit more challenge onto the waist and those deep stabilizer muscles also. Reaching forward, pull back up. Of course, at any point, you can go back to any one of the earlier options. If you want to, you could try both legs. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to roll back, and extend both the legs. And pull back up. So you're rolling back and extending. If that's too much again, you just stay with one of the earlier options. Do you really feel those tummy muscles work? And of course the waist, a natural corset of muscle around the middle, working really hard. Next level up, if you're at all interested, you hover the feet off the floor. Now immediately, that's going to kick in those deep stabilizer muscles. 3 fingers below your tummy button. You can just stay with that if you want to and just balance. You can hold it and balance. Or of course, you can roll it back and extend one leg. Pull back up. Roll it back and extend the other leg. Pull back up. So just roll it back and pull. Roll back and pull. And of course you could do both legs. Roll it back and pull. Roll it back and pull. So maybe breathing with this one would be inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. But you can decide which level you stay with. You can just stay with that and hold. And then when you've done equal numbers on both sides, hug those knees into the chest, drop the head over the knees and stretch. Drop the head, hug in. And then I've got a little bit of a challenge for you if you're interested at all. You can just hover the feet off the floor and balance. You can hold the arms out and balance with the feet off the floor. Or you could add in this extra challenge. You can extend the legs out and roll over with control onto your right side. Roll that top hip slightly forward, then you're balancing on the hip. The head kind of dangles, but keep the neck in line with the spine. Hold it there, maybe on the in-breath, and then out-breath, pull back up and balance. And see if you can go the other way. So you're going to roll it back and over with control. Hold it there, and then try and pull back without pushing with the arm too much, and lift. So it's just a roll over to the side, hold it there, balancing on the hip, and trying to push too much with the arms, and just lift. One more time to the other side, or you can do more if you want to. Flexibility, mobility, and of course lots of middle muscles working. And then just relax, hug those knees into the chest again, and then stretch the legs out, tilt the pelvis, and do your controlled roll back onto the mat. Take the arms over the top of your head, stretch through from the tips of your fingers to the tips of your toes. Lengthen and stretch, breathe. Cross your right ankle over your left ankle, take hold of your right wrist with your left hand, and do a little bend to the left side. Remember, if that's not comfortable, with the arms over your head, just bring the arms down by your side and then bend to your left side. Slide the hand down, seeing the trouser leg. And then when you're ready, swap to the other side. Just a big bend to the side. Keep the head and the shoulders down. Lift the rib cage out of the pelvis, but remember you can always have the arms down by your side and still do the bend. Get a good stretch down the side. And then relax back to centre. Then just slide the feet in so the knees are up, feet flat on the floor. Bring the knees and the feet together. Heels directly underneath the knees. So not too close in to buttocks and not too far away. And then just breathing in to tilt the pelvis and breathing out to release. Crushing the grape, scooping the tummy. Remember, the little grape is in the small of your back with a natural curve. So pressing tummy button right down into the backbone, pressing that lower back right down into the floor. Scooping out the tummy, hollowing the tummy. And then see if you can add a bridge onto that. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to pick the hips up. Try and keep the knees and the feet together. Hold to the top, push the knees away from you as you breathe in and breathing out, link by link, bone by bone. Crush the grape, tilt the pelvis back into its neutral position, put a new grape in, and start again. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to peel off like a bicycle chain, link by link. Hold up at the top on the in-breath, still got those knees together, and then link by link, bone by bone, you imprint you back into the mat. If you find that's too much, of course, just stay with the pelvic tilt, scooping out the tummy. If you can, you're pushing up on the out breath. Push those knees towards the wall in front of you. Get some stretch through those hip flexors. Nice straight line from the knee to the shoulder, like a ski slope. Articulating your spine, getting lots of flexibility into your spine. Buttocks and hamstrings working. And of course, those deep abdominal muscles as well to help you balance. And then maybe one more time, pushing all the way up. Still got those knees together, then the inner thighs work. And then gently, gently taking your time back to the floor, tilting back into neutral. And this time, see if you can add on to that. Breathing in to tilt, breathing out to pick the hips up. Hold up at the top. Keep the knees together and then open the knees not too far. And then squeeze together. Maybe inhale, open. Exhale to squeeze. Hold it up. Feel those buttocks working. And of course your hamstrings and your inner thighs and your core. Now if you find that's too much, just lie back down onto the floor, keep the tummy engaged and just open and close the legs. You can still do it that way, not working as many muscles, but you can knock it back a level if you need to. And then hold it up at the top and drop the buttocks down about halfway and push back up. Breathing in, breathing out. Keep those knees glued together. Keep the chin down over the peach. So you've still got the length in your neck is relaxed. There's buttocks working, inner thighs working, core muscles to balance, and of course the hamstrings. And maybe two more. Exhale to squeeze up. Inhale, release. Exhale, squeeze up. Inhale, release. Hold it up. And then link by link, still scooping out the tummy. Gently bring it back down. And then hugging those knees into the chest. Bring the head up into the knees, nose to knees, knees to nose. Take yourself into a nice ball, have a good stretch. And then putting one foot down, then the other foot down, rolling the head and the shoulders back to the floor. And then from here, if you can, push up onto the elbows. Elbows directly underneath the shoulders. And lift one knee up into tabletop. Engage the tummy, brace the tummy, lift the other leg up into tabletop, bring the knees and the feet together again. And this time just circle the knees around. A little bit of inner thigh, outer thigh, and of course core. So the hips are moving, but you're keeping your elbows glued down and from the chest up still. If you find that's too much, just lie on your back and do it. And then change direction, make it go the other way. Circling, circling, really feel those deep abdominal muscles work, 3 fingers below the tummy button. And of course getting flexibility into your hips. And you can always lie down on your back and do this. If you're going to lie on your back, take the arms out to the side crucifix position with the palms turned down. Then you'll keep those shoulder blades glued down as well. And then hold it there. Now what about straight legs?
Change direction again, make the legs go the other way, and circle. Now, if your hamstrings are really tight, then this is going to be too hard and too uncomfortable. So just go back to the bent legs. Circling, circling. Maybe one circle on in-breath, one circle on out-breath, or even half a circle on an in-breath, half a circle on an out-breath. And then, of course, you would change direction and make it go the other way. Just drawing circles with the legs in the air, but of course, you can do bent legs. Keep the legs together, then the inner thighs work a little bit as well as the outer thighs, hip flexors, buttocks working, but mainly it's the core to keep you stable, doing nice smooth circles. And then when you think you've done approximately equal numbers on both sides, bring it back to start position, relax back down onto your mat, and then hug the knees in again. Maybe have a little rock side to side. And then what about circling the legs just to release that lower back? Pushing the knees around in a circle. Release. And then change direction and make it go the other way. Again, encouraging flexibility into your hips. And keeping the head, the shoulders down. Putting one foot down, the other foot down. Bring the knees and the feet together again. Stretch the fingertips towards the toes, and you've got the length in the neck. And then a little break in the small of your back again. Then just breathing in to tilt the pelvis, breathing out and push up to that lovely bridge again. Balance, keep the knees together. And then link by link, bone by bone, you come back down. And again, so you're pushing up and push the knees forward away from you. Then you get a good straight line and you stretch those hip flexors that you've worked. Link by link, bone by bone, and come back down again. Tilt the pelvis back into neutral. And again, pushing up, and this time hold if you can, and open and close again. Open and close. Feel those buttocks clench. Inner thighs work. And if it's too much, just lie back onto the floor and open and close the knees from there. If you can, you keep those hips up nice and high, balancing. And then hold it at the top, and this time tap the buttocks all the way down and push all the way up. Breathing in to tap down, breathing out, squeeze up. Just tap and lift. And working on the out breath, pushing up in breath to tap down. Still keeping those knees and feet together. And then again, maybe two more. Squeeze and release. And then pushing all the way up. And then link by link, bone by bone, imprint you back into the mat. Hugging those knees into the chest again. Hug, hug, hug in. Nose to nose. Make your spine go the other way. Get a really, really good stretch. And then putting one foot down, the other foot down. Relax back down. And then from here, just bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees flop apart. Stretch those inner thighs. Relax the legs. Maybe slide the heels a little bit closer in towards your body and let the weight of your legs take your knees towards the floor. Stretch, stretch, stretch those inner thighs. And then just heave those legs back up and then take the feet out onto the edges of your mat. Taking the arms out to the side, crucifix position. And then roll the knees over to the right side while you turn your head and look along that left arm. Holding that there. Now if you want to increase the intensity of the stretch, you put your right foot on top of your left thigh. And just ease the leg across a little bit, get some stretch around your middle, down the side of your body, your hip, and of course your neck as you look along that left arm. Hold and stretch. That's not comfortable, of course, you just leave the right foot on the floor. Then replace the foot, keep the feet wide, and turn the knees the opposite way.
Turn the head, look along that right arm. Just take the legs as far over as you can. If you want to leave them there, you can leave them there. Otherwise, you put your left foot on top of your right thigh. Keep those shoulder blades glued down and just hold and stretch. Nice big stretch. And then replacing that foot to the floor, bringing the feet back in again. Arms back down by your side. And then hug the right knee into the chest. Get a stretch through the buttock a little bit. And then straighten the leg up towards the ceiling. Remember, you can hold on behind the thigh or the calf or the front of the trouser leg. One hand behind each. And of course you can straighten your left leg along the floor, which would help to lengthen through that hamstring. But if you bend that right knee, then slide that left leg back in again. And then replace the foot. Sliding the other leg in, just hold on behind the thigh and hug the leg into the chest. Hold that there. Brief little stretch through the buttock and then straighten the leg up. Ease the leg in towards the body. Keep that leg nice and straight. Make sure there's no bend in the knee. Straightening out the left leg if you want to increase the stretch. If you lose the stretch, you slide that right leg right back in again. Hold and stretch. Easing that leg in that little bit more. And then replace the foot. Stretch the legs out. And then gently, please, roll over onto your front. And let the arms rest down by your side. Stretch your fingertips towards your toes. You can have the forehead on the floor. Or you could turn the head to the side and let your cheek rest. But relax the neck and the shoulders, lengthening through the legs. And then from here, bringing the hands underneath the shoulders. Elbows pointing up towards the ceiling. Lengthen through the legs. Tummy button pulled up off your hot stone, engaging the tummy to support your back, and either cheek or forehead. And then exhale to lift and inhale to lower. Keep the plank of wood on the back of your head, your peach underneath your chin. Try not to push with the hands, just try and stabilise with the arms. If you need to, of course, you can do cheek to the side, lift, look at the floor, but try not to take the neck out of alignment, and then gently down. And then see if you can add on, see if you can lift and hold, and then hover the hands. Then bring the hands down, and then gently down. Try and keep the length through the legs, so nothing moving below the waist. Exhale to lift, inhale to hold, exhale to hover, and then inhale to take it back down, forehead or cheek. Lift, see if you can lift a little bit higher, and hover, and gently down. And again, lift again up a little bit higher, get more flexion in the spine, and hover, and gently down. And taking the arms back down by your side, and then reaching back, shoulders down, lift up and stretch back, and release down. Exhale up, reach back, inhale down. Nothing moving below the waist. Pull the shoulders back and down. Work that posture muscle across the upper back. Reaching back. And maybe one more. Keep lengthening through those legs. Make sure the legs don't lift. Then this time, take the arms straight out in front of you. Slide your shoulder blades down your back, shoulders away from the ears. And then this time, lift the upper body, and then lift one arm and put it down. Lift the other arm, put it down, and gently down. Exhale up, inhale, hold. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower. Exhale, lift, inhale, lower, and gently down. Slide those shoulder blades down your back, lift, lower, lift, lower, and down. And if you could lift and hover and lower and down. But of course, if that's too much, you stay with the alternate arms. Keep a plank of wood on the back of your head, peach underneath the chin. And then see if we can join them all together. Hands underneath the shoulders. Slide those shoulder blades down. Keep the length through the legs. That tummy button pulled up and in. Capacity on the back of your pelvis. And then lift, hover, reach back, sweep round. Bring it back and down. That would be lift first, hover, stretch it back, reach it round, pull back and down. One more time. Lift, hover, squeezing those shoulder blades together, reach round, pull back and down. And of course you can repeat more of those levels if you want to. Then coming up onto the hands and knees, arch the back, drop the head, pull the tummy button up and in and stretch from the back of your neck all the way down to your tail. Ears pointing down, tailbone down. And you can always come up onto your knuckles, tucking that pelvis right under. And then just crossing the arms at the wrists, push up again, press down with the hands into the floor. You might want to bring the hands a little bit closer in towards the knees. Feel those shoulder blades pull apart, stretch the upper back, and then change the crossover. Push up again. Drop the head right down, push the hips towards the head. Then you get a good stretch across the upper back and from the back of your neck to your tail, opening up those vertebrae. Then of course sitting back onto the heels. Let the forehead rest down. You can have the arms behind you, palms up. You can stretch the arms in front. You can open the knees. Try and get those hips right back and down. Get a good stretch in that lower back and of course the buttocks. If of course that is not comfortable, sit on your bottom and then either reach over the beach ball for your toes while tucking the pelvis under, or you can hug the knees into the chest. Give it a good stretch, shoulders down. And then coming onto the hands and knees again. Walking the hands into the knees, tucking the toes under, hover the knees, push the hips up into the air, walking the hands into the toes, keep the head down, the knees slightly bent, and then slowly come up. Rebuild your spine, link by link, bone by bone, right back up against your imaginary wall again. And then from there, just drop the right ear down into your shoulder while you slide the left hand down the seam of the trouser leg. Hold that there. Stretch your neck, stretch shoulder. Turn the head and look down at that right shoulder, keeping the chest open. And then slowly turn the head and look up and behind into the left corner, as far back and up as you can without moving your body at all. And then just gently drop the chin all the way down into the chest. Slide the shoulder blades down your back, shoulders away from the ears, lengthen the neck. Tailbone pointing down, tummy button pulled up and in. Then you can still feel your pelvic floor lift. Get a good stretch through the neck. And then lifting the head. Drop the left ear while the right hand slides down. Stretch neck and that right shoulder. And turning the head looking down at the left shoulder. Having lots of flexibility into the neck, but keeping the torso stable. Turning the head looking up and behind into the right corner. Hold and stretch, looking up and back. Then gently bringing the chin back down into the chest, lifting the head up,
And release the shoulders forward, up and round and back and down. Let's get those shoulders moving again. Big, big, big shoulder roll. And opening the chest, shoulders back and down. Back of the head, shoulder blades, buttocks and heels up against that imaginary wall. Tailbone pointing down. Keep your zip up and hollow and maintain that until next week, which will be session number 12. Bye for now.